Hey everyone, it's Randy from Dreamy Bohemian. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I wanted to give you a quick flip through of two custom order sweet peas that I have recently completed. The first one is a sister to Calista, and she is Calliope. And the second one is Madeline, and she is a French take on the sweet pea. So we will go through Calliope first, and I will save Madeline for last. So Calliope is along the same lines as Calista in that she has the same color palette. Of course, nothing on a sweet pea is ever 100% the same because it just isn't. So you really can't duplicate anything on these. So it's the same colors, and there's a yellow bow, and I did add some white with her to soften her up a bit. Added a pretty pink vintage flower. Her front bead is a little a natural stone bead, and it's very pretty. And I added some pink and some turquoise to kind of give you a hint of what was going on inside. And so Calliope is on 1.5-inch rose gold rings. She has a peach cover with some fuchsia flowers, some white paper at the top, some gold leaf. And for these, the owner wanted it to be kind of a Parisian theme. And so I added this little Eiffel Tower charm at the bottom with a little eyelet and put the Paris stamp on the front for her. On the inside, we have some pink, and I have used the World's Greatest Embossing Powder, which I have used throughout these Sweet Pea series, and that is some of the silver there that I haven't used before. Just want you to see how beautifully that embossing powder turns out, and I just love using it. I think it looks really sweet with the gold and the pink there. I'm also using my little Lavinia star stamp, the miniature star stamp throughout here, because I'm just addicted to it. I think it's adorable, and I'm using the gold embossing powder there as well. Here I have some of Sheila's bling. And you guys all know the drill by now, I am sure. We have napkins, we have variations of papers, gold leaf, and embossed papers, blings, fabrics, and all things of that nature. On this page, I have her second bead attached to some trim up here at the top. And it's a little heart, and it's got some black and white polka dots, and I've added the pink to that as well. She has some rose gold wire, and then she has some gold findings, so everything is very eclectic for little Miss Calliope. That's just a little fabric ruffle there. It actually looks like a flower. It's very cute. So here we have some blues and greens, and I have just put a little piece of bling right here. And I know some of you have been kind of saying that you don't really know how to use Sheila's trims and things. This is just one of the things that I use her gold bling for, and I don't have any around me, but this obviously didn't come this small. I just cut it up a longer piece and cut out, you know, little sections that I might like to use here and there. And of course, that's what I did with that on this third page as well. I've used silver and gold stars throughout. And so this page has some silver because I thought it would look beautiful with the blue and the green. I just love the way that turned out. Here we have some more peach and some yellow. Here's another way to use Sheila's trim. I just cut a little piece of the trim off and folded it and glued it on both sides of a page, and it's a little tab. Calista, Calliope, has several tabs here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 tabs with the folded over fabric, and then I've used some of the bling as a tab as well. So you can do that. And then this is kind of hanging off, and that's a little tab, and that's just a section that I cut out of some trim. And so you just kind of have to use your imagination. It's not really that difficult. It's just experimenting a little bit and finding out what works for you. But we've got some more of Sheila's trim here over a little bit of lace. You have to excuse my fingernails. They really aren't that dirty, but they are showing up dirty on the camera. I don't know. I've been outside digging this afternoon with my daughter. She wanted some plants, so we did that for a little bit. There's some of that Tim Holtz tissue paper, which Sheila turned me on to, and that it stands out so nicely in the sweet peas. Some lace and a very tiny piece of trim that I just cut off. Some more silver stamp. One of Lorna's stamps. Tim Holtz tissue paper over here. Isn't that dynamic? And then the pink is just gorgeous. Accented with all gold on this page. Some music paper over there. And here is the first of the dangle trims. This is some vintage dangle trim that I found on eBay. And I love these colors. They have blues and greens, and this is kind of a rosy pink. It could even be, I guess, translating into kind of a fall burnt orange color, but today it's kind of picking up rosy pink. Here's another piece of bling that I cut out and just put at the top there for a little accent. I love the colorful paints in Calliope here. She just turned out beautifully. What I did on this page is the stamp was large, and so when I cut my index card in half, I made sure these two lined up so that you could see the whole stamp. There's a little bitty bee stamp, and I used the white embossing powder in there. It's gorgeous. Some of Sheila's trim down here. As you can see why no two are ever the same, because the papers are all over the place, and you know, it just will never be the same. So they're all unique little creatures in themselves. This is a little Lavinia leaf stamp that I think is adorable. So I put gold here and silver there, and then rose gold trim over here with a little bit of Sari ribbon right here behind that. Just gives it a softness. One of my favorite stamps is this little bird cage. I thought she was cute. And then that little stamp right there. Oh, I love that. It just gives just the smallest detail. And here's a little tiny piece of trim up here also. It is just a little cutout where I used the rest up here. And so I had that left over, and I thought it would be cute at the top. I used a script stamp that I have had forever that I got from Michael's. I'm sure I don't have it right here with me. Let me see if I can grab it really quick. What did I do with it? Yeah, I'm not sure what I did with it. It's just a wooden block stamp, and it's pretty big, and it's got script on it, and so I used the silver embossing powder for that. I just thought that was beautiful. A little fabric ruffle here, and there was the tiniest piece of trim that I cut out there. It just had some sequins in it, and I put that on there. And the vintage stamp that I left together for the 2 pages. The other vintage stamp was a little bit different. It was a little more froofy. Vintage Market, and then this one was the definition of vintage. That's got gold and silver. I just love the peach. I don't know why. There's some more trim, another one of those tabs. Some of the white embossing powder. When you're done decorating a sweet pea, you go over it with very random gesso marks, and that kind of pushes everything back and brings everything together all at the same time, and I love how it does that. Some more of that silver embossing. And here is the front part, or the first part of that stamp. It's, I think it says Perfumery, and then the Paris is the other side, with some bling here. Some layered papers and some gold leaf. And the second little round of the dangle trim. And here is just some little number stamps, and these are just the really cheap number stamps that I think I may have gotten in like the $2 section or the dollar section at Michael's, in those little bins, and they were just little wooden stamps and they had numbers on them. And I just thought I would try something different, and I love the way that turned out. And then there's that trim that I cut out and used on the edge there. This is some rhinestone, little sequin trim, I'm sorry. And I put a little of that gold at the top just for a little accent. And the gold stars are throughout these 2 pages. And I left these 2 pages together for this stamp, La Provence. There's that little number stamp again in gold this time. I love that color, aqua. And this is a minty green. And I used the white embossing powder on this page. Trying to, there we go. Isn't that pretty? It's so soft. Oh, and there's some silver script over there. Another little fabric ruffle here with just the tiniest snippet of bling in there. And the last page also says Paris. Here is the side. Look at those dangles. Aren't they gorgeous? I just love those. And the way that the little Eiffel Tower hangs off. Oops, I missed the front page. Nope, that's the back page. And then there we go. There is Miss Calliope. Now for Miss Madeline. The person who ordered this wanted a Parisian theme in both of the journals, like I said. And this one, I went with pinks and grays, and there's some black in here. But her front page, oops, excuse me, has a beautiful crystal heart dangle with silver and gold findings. She also has the Eiffel Tower dangle on the front. And her dangles are, dangle trim is a little bit different. This I found actually at a garage sale. Let me see if I can get back in focus here. There we go. So the page is a very blush pink. The first page is a blush pink, again with that Paris stamp and some layered papers and gold leaf. And then I put a little bit of, this was on some netting fabric, and it just had some little spots where flowers were with some pearls in it, and I thought that looked really pretty. Oh, the bow is pink silk ribbon and then a piece of Sari, and it actually has gold and silver in it, which is why I wanted to do some of the gold and the silver in the journal as well. She is on 1.5-inch gold rings, and I tried to put the rose gold on Madeline, but the gold ended up looking a lot better. So here we go. We're opening up, and I just had some netted sequined fabric that I cut out this little flower on and layered over this page with some embossed paper that was a script embossing folder. And then I just kind of rubbed my finger over it with some gold paint. And that way you could see the embossing of the words a little bit better. This is a French lilac color. And I just added some pink lace, the gold stamping, the little number 147, and a little tiny cutout of Sheila's bling. Isn't that adorable? There is a black page with some pink velvet that I used from Sheila's, I think it was Victorian Rose, and a little bit of white sari and a little bit of bling. So that's 3 pieces there that you can layer up and use. It looks very pretty. Now this is a piece of lace that came from Sheila's pink lace trim that came with the velvet as well. And what I did is I just used it as a little tab, and I hung the second dangle off here. And that is another pink natural stone. Let me see if I can get this camera fixed so we can see that. Isn't that beautiful? And I have gold and silver findings there. Very pretty. I love the softness of that pink fabric there. All right, let's get focus back down here. Some more gold and pink, some of the tissue paper from Tim Holtz, a few little stars, some velvet, and a little tiny snippet of bling. There's the Paris stamp again, some more of that sequined fabric that was on the knitting. A lot of little stars, just kind of scattered throughout. Put some velvet down here at the bottom, and then put a little bling here in the middle. This is the, 5 colors, I believe is it 5 or 4 colors, come in the embossing powders. You get Mirror Gold, Black Midnight, Silver Dollar, White Glacier, and then a clear glossy embossing powder, and this is the black, and I like to pop that on every now and again. Just think that's so pretty. Everything's so pretty today, y'all. Sometimes that's just the only word I have. I did that script embossed paper again with the gold, just kind of rubbed over it. There we have some pink and black. I did run some gold paint with a dry brush over these pages. I'm not sure if you can see that super good. So you can see it right there. It's just very subtle, and I did it on all the pages. There's some pink onto that black to give it a little bit of pop. I think this French lilac paint is my favorite. Some of the gold stars. And here's a piece of velvet, and then I cut out some of that material with the little sequins in it, and I just laid it over that. I thought that turned out really cute. Here's the first page with the dangle trim on it. Thought that was so pretty. It's a very champagne colors, really pretty in this journal. Madeline also has the little Lavinia star stamps throughout, if I didn't say that already. There she is at the top, and then some just sprinkled around. There's some of the white embossing powder. It's really pretty. This is actually a little pocket. You could put something in there. Then this is a little journal stamp. Sheila gave me this little journal stamp. I didn't realize it was hidden in one of the little packages that she sent me, and she's like, wasn't there another stamp? And so I went digging in the bag, and sure enough, there it was, that little journal stamp. It's so cute. Oh, look at there. You can see the gold now when I turn the page this way into the light. Isn't that pretty, that gold brushing? There you go on the black. And that's just a dry brush technique, super easy. You just put some paint down on a piece of paper or, you know, whatever, and then make sure your brush is dry. I might have used a brush like that, and then you just kind of dab it in there, and then you dab it off, and then you take and then you dry brush it over. I use a little more coarse brush for that technique. There's some of the gold paint just over the embossed paper there. Another little really soft pink little tab. Some stars. A little flower with a Tiffany & Co. stamp done in black embossing. Stars at the top. Butterfly stamp. And this has some pink Sari silk, and then some little trim edging layered on top of that. I thought that turned out so cute. I love to layer fabrics and papers. It just makes me very happy. There is a piece of that trim that I usually use for a tab, but I wanted some on the inside of the page today. That Tim Holtz paper just is gorgeous, isn't that? He has several different kinds. Love, love, love these tabs. I just can't get over them. I love the pink and the gray together. And then this some of that Tim Holtz paper, you just cut out, you know, whatever pieces that you want to use. It has a lot of words on it. Let's see, that's not the one I use. Which one is it? It's this one. It's the botanical. Isn't that pretty? They have other kinds. This is a entomology one, and it's got moths and butterflies in it. And that's kind of the little pack that I got, these three together. And this one is typeset. And so it's got a lot of words on it. In fact, it's all words. But those are really nice to work with. Just something different. There's the Tiffany & Co. stamp. Of course, it gets cut off when I cut the index cards. And you can see the dry brush with the gold. And here's the second page of trim. That is one side of a stamp, and I just think that turns out so cool, even though it sometimes the bumpiness of the cards, depending on how thick you have your layers, you know, it doesn't evenly stamp so much over it, but I still love the effect that it has. It's just so pretty. That little bird cage stamp. Some more Tim Holtz papers. I didn't realize I put those so close together, but and then some black and gold and some gray and black and gold. The little bee. And then a beautiful little piece of trim. And you know what? I actually might put a little piece of gold right there. I don't know why I like that. I'm not sure why I didn't do that yet, but And then the vintage dictionary definition there. And just some little stars on the back to close out Miss Madeline. And I think she turned out beautiful. I really, really love the pink and the gray together. And so these are going out tomorrow to their new home. And I really hope that she will enjoy them. I'm pretty sure they're for gifts. And so hopefully the recipients will appreciate them. I really appreciate you, again, stopping by my channel. And I just thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the little sweet peas. And if you want to make your own sweet pea, I'll put all the things in the description box for you to be able to see what you already have and what you might need to make those. And if you would like your own custom sweet pea, you can contact me, although I am working on a little bit of a project right now. Well, I say a little bit of a project. It's a pretty big project right now. And I probably won't start working on sweet peas again until closer to July, but that's coming really quickly, isn't it? So thank you so much for hanging out with me, and look at these misbehaving, and checking out Miss Calliope and Miss Madeline. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. I give up on that. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.